Welcome to another edition of Brawl Till We Fall. All right, we're going to get started with AEW this week. It was a great week for AEW, of course. MJF made his return, and that kicks off Dynamite, which is what we're going to start with tonight. Well, today, I should say. Anyway, MJF returns and he puts everybody on notice. You know, it's funny because I look at and then listen to what he said, and he says that he's been sitting at home watching a lot of people making bold claims on his show. He clowns Okada, Swerve, and Osprey, and once again, the phrase made famous by CM Punk that he indeed is the best in the world. Now, Osprey also said it, but here's the thing, and I'm gonna just give you my thoughts on this. There is no best in the world. Um, there's always going to be someone that's going to come and knock you off your pedestal. And it may be from some state, country, or someplace you ain't never heard of before. So at the end of the day, this whole statement about best in the world, unless you've wrestled everybody in the entire world that proclaims to be the best, you're not the best. Now MJF have defeated some of those that proclaim to be the best, but you ain't go to WWE yet to wrestle against the best over there. You're not in New Japan Wrestling to wrestle the best over there. CMLL, even ROH and TNA. You haven't wrestled the best to proclaim to be the best in the world. And right now, there are too many different organizations in wrestling right now that have the best wrestlers, all those things. I will say this about MJF though. In AEW, at this time, he is the best in the world on the microphone. Yes, you have that down, no doubt. 100%, you are the best on the mic. You are the best hype artist. That you are. But now, since you've been sitting at home, a couple of guys that you mentioned have stepped up to the plate. And in my book, when it comes to Osprey, he is one of the best technical wrestlers. The best. And he is wrestling New Japan, and he's beating the best. Again, you guys haven't been in the other world. Y'all ain't get there yet. So until you go to the other world, and you know what I'm talking about, WWE, and wrestle all the best over there, and call yourself the best, you're not the best because AEW, I love you guys and all of that, but right now you are second fiddle to the dominant WWE. You have to get there, and I have all the confidence in the world that you are going to get there because you're right. You're on the right path, Tony Khan. You're on the right path, and I'm supporting you 100%. I wouldn't be doing this show about you if I didn't. Um, but at the end of the day, when it comes to you, MJF, you're not the best just yet. Not yet. Now, moving on, more interesting things happened during this presentation that he was in the ring segment, I should say, of MJF. Roosh came out. Now, Roosh has been on a rampage for the last couple of weeks. He ain't been just defeating people, he's been beating their ass. So this is a very interesting um, challenge for MJF because Roosh, not to say that MJF can't handle a tyrant like Roosh, but he's going to definitely give MJF a damn sure introduction to what's been happening while he's been sitting at home. Because if you get past Roosh and then you got Swerve, who to me is one of the best technical in the ring. He's also he can hang in there with the best of them. He's very resilient. So you go against Swerve, you're going against a resilient dude that don't give up. And if you do actually defeat him, trust and believe you're gonna know you've been in the fight. Will Ospreay, like I said, one of the best. I can't wait to see them fight. Will Ospreay and Swerve. That's gonna be who is the best out of the two, and whoever wins that is gonna give you hell, MJF. I'm just letting you know. On the mic skills was great, but AEW last I checked said they are where the best wrestle, and I've watched you. You're not the best wrestler, and that's real talk. Now, moving on. Not gonna waste no more time. I know Roosh came in the ring. They got into it. Security broke it up. Um, I know that's setting up for a match between the two, and that's great because MJF need a warm up match before he get to the real deal, and Roosh is perfect for that because he's gonna definitely put him through the test. Moving on, video package was played of Roderick Strong. He's hyping up his match against Swerve for the title. Roderick just jumped up because he thought because he won the international championship that he would be on the level of a Swerve. Roderick, you're good, you're great. Again, Swerve is very resilient, and he's beaten some of the best, and you haven't. So I already know how that's gonna turn out. Ray Phoenix defeated Jay Lethal with Sanjay Dutt in this corner, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly. And this is for the international title contenders match. So Ray Phoenix is in there. All right. Um, he put my man Jay Lethal in the figure four, which is not easy. Jay Lethal is a he's one of the seasoned veterans in this business, and I always support my boy Jay. Jay is still one of my favorite wrestlers. Um, and then after that match was over, Trent Beretta and Don Callis come to the ring to attack Orange Cassidy. And they grab a steel chair. Chris Statlander comes out and punches Cassidy in the face. But Willow Nightingale makes her return and comes out and makes the save and chases off Statlander. I hope this turns into a mixed tag team. You know, Chris Statlander along with Trent Beretta versus Cassidy and my girl Willow. I hope it turns into that. I would like to see that. You don't have that. You don't have a lot of those matches in AEW. So I would like to see that match. FTW champion Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keefe arrived to the arena. This right here is funny to me. I just see Brian Keefe as like an outsider, but he's coming in and he's like the enforcer of the group, which is funny. And he's mocking Tone, Jericho scolds his driver and cameraman before the three men enter the building, which Jericho is just being Jericho. You know, he is one of the pioneers. You know, Renee Paquette speaks to Willow Nightingale backstage, and Nightingale says that she can admit that she lost at Double or Nothing, and she congratulates Mercedes Moné. So, at the end of the day, Willow is being the nice person that she is. And Nightingale says a rematch at some point will be coming. And she said that she can know that it was going to be Hathaway that was going to betray her, but she didn't expect Statlander to do it, which is true. They looked like they were good friends. So I don't understand how that went the way it is, but at the end of the day, Trent Beretta went bad, so Statlander went bad. So I don't know what's going on with that, but she says she might have you know that Statlander has a big smile on her face now, but you know it could be dangerous dealing with her, and it's true. Willow Nightingale is a dangerous person because you don't know what her personality is outside of that, and Statlander should know. And again, I tell you, like I told you last week, do not poke the bear, and you keep messing with Willow, and you're gonna get those claws. Orange Cassidy comes in, you know, they give a fist, if he gives her a fist bump or whatever. But I guess they, like I said, I want to see that mixed tag team between the two of them. That would be awesome. Christopher Daniels comes out and announces a TNT Championship qualifying match will take place right now on Dynamite. So, the Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe versus Brian Cage in this TNT qualifying match. And Mark Briscoe beats a very big Brian Cage. Again, since Brian Cage decided to take on the Mobile Embassy by himself and lead a group, I'm going to just say this about leadership because I've been in leadership many, many, many times. If you can't lead people across the street, you are definitely not a good leader. Brian Cage, you are not a good leader at all. You should stick to wrestling. You should have left all of that to Prince Nana. But no, you want to take it on yourself. And you can't even win a match against a man. And not to take nothing from Briscoe, because Briscoe is a pioneer. He's one of those pioneers up there with Jay Lethal. He's great. In that ring, you got to know what you're doing. And he knows exactly what he's doing. This Rest in peace to his brother. But they were, to me, one of the best tag teams in the business. And not taking nothing away from his skills. But Brian Cage, you made him look easy beating you. And for a big man like you, that shouldn't have been an easy match. Anywho, you've been losing. Maybe you need to rethink this whole Mobile Embassy deceit that you put on my band Strickland, Swerve, and maybe run it back a little bit because you're not doing good by yourself or with the Mobile Embassy, which goes back to the clicks. If you got a click, you shouldn't be out there by yourself anyway. That's just it. You should be winning matches. Your partners, your clique, everybody should be out there helping you win a match. That's the purpose of having a clique or a family, I should say. That's what I knock Don Callis about. There should be a whole support system. That's the whole purpose of putting together, a clique or entourage of people. But I get off my soapbox. Let me just move on. But Jack Perry appears on the Tron after my man Mark Briscoe wins his match. And Perry congratulates Mark Briscoe for qualifying, but he says it doesn't matter because he is going to get that championship. He has been chosen, and Tony Khan is trying to screw him, and he is going to get that belt. Bottom line. So, all I'm going to say is this. Jack, you're going to have to work for it. It's obvious they have set it up for you not to get that. And if things keep going away and going, even though you are aligned yourself with the elite, it don't matter. If you ain't going to get it, you're not going to get it. Moving on, Samoa Joe and Hook are backstage, and Joe says he wouldn't call what's happening in mentorship. But before he can finish, he was interrupted by Premier Athlete's niece, mocks Hooks for eating chips and all of that crap. This is what I call backstage shenanigans. These dudes are trying to make a name for themselves and picking a fight with the wrong dudes. Samoa Joe and Hook together are a dominant team. They both can put you in a hole and put you to sleep right away. So, and later on, you're going to find out why you don't, again, poke the bear. Anyway, so they back there, they mess with them, knock the chips out of my man Hook's hand. Yeah, they're going to pay for that. Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keefe are backstage again. Jericho runs into Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Hands and loudly tells them how great their lives are now. He's really running this learning tree thing into the ground. It's funny. I just find Chris Jericho comical these days. The Acclaim come out for their in-ring segment, and Max Caster starts talking smack about the Young Bucks, and so they appear on the Titantron, and they cut their segment. You don't go out there messing with the bosses. I'm sorry, even though I don't approve of them being the bosses. You don't, especially after you did what you did with Tony Khan. And I'm not even gonna go there. But anyway, AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana are backstage, and Strickland addresses the MJF's comments. He says he's going to handle MJF later. And I believe him, because Strickland is a man of his word. But he's talking about his match tonight with Roderick Strong, and later on, and how he's going to take care of him. And he also made a statement that if the next time that Team AEW goes against the Elite, to make sure they include him in that match. And they should next time. So, you see Mercedes Moné, she's hyping up her matches. AEW versus CMLL. So the Blackpool Combat Club defeated Esfinge Magnus, Rigido, and the Violator from CMLL. Willa Yuta is back, and he is what they were missing with the Blackpool Combat Club. And it's great to see him back, and they're dominating. The Acclaim try to get into the Elite's locker room. So you guys are just getting bold right now. You just going right after the Elite, even though they done told you that they're the EVPs and they running things. So they went back there, but they were surrounded by security. They're not gonna let them get to them like that. Christian Cage and the Patriarchy confront Matthew and Nicholas Jackson backstage after the break. And Cage says that he was screwed at Double or Nothing. He wants another shot at AEW World Champion. Matthew says Tony Khan and Christopher Daniels have been overruling their decisions lately, but they'll see what they can do. And they should. Once you lose, you should be going to the back of the line, Christian Cage. And again, you're going to keep trying, but honestly, on your best day, you can't be Swerve. But now that MJF is back, you can't beat him either. And I guarantee you, even for ratings wise, it would be a better match for MJF versus Swerve versus a Christian rematch. So it doesn't matter, EVPs, Tony Khan, whoever. If you're really looking to boost ratings and everything, and to get more hype at your pay-per-view, Christian Cage, let him sit in the back of the line. And why don't you go in the tournament with TNT, get that belt back, because you had it, so get it back. I believe you can beat most of the guys that's on that list. You know what I'm saying? Get that belt back. That's just my opinion. Anyway, moving on. Saraya with Harley Cameron and Zack Knight defeated Mariah May, and that's because there was unity. Mariah May with Luther and Tony Storm is unified, but Saraya's team is more wrestlers. Luther's not a wrestler. And yeah, they got that win. And I like how that went down, to be honest with you. And there was some tensions with Mina, because she came to the rescue of Mariah May. And then they did basically fighting over. It's almost like what's going on in the other promotions. What's going to happen in the promotions where they be fighting over Dom. They're fighting over Mariah May. This is funny. And it looks silly. But it's comedy. So I like it. Another Chris Jericho segment where he's with Private Party and invites them on TV next time for next week. So let's see what happens next week. Bryan Danielson. He wants to turn his year around. Bryan Danielson is backstage and says it's a blessing to have Willa Yuta back, which I already said that. Anyway, and Danielson reminds everyone that he is supposed to have been retiring, but he has not completed all the things he wanted to complete. He's lost a lot of matches, and this is true. And he was hurt a lot, which is also true. But it looks like he's trying to turn things around, and honestly, I think that Danielson may not retire when he say he is. I think he's going to continue for another year because I don't think he can accomplish everything he wants to accomplish in this 1 year. I don't see it. The year is halfway done. So that's just my opinion, and then we're going to see what happens. All right, let's get to the main event. Swerve Strickland versus Roderick Strong. This was a good match. No complaints about it. I give this match an 8. I give it an 8. But at the end, the result is Swerve is still champion. And who doubted that? Like I said, Roderick Strong, you're good, but you're not champion material right now. Not heavyweight champion material. You're not there at that AEW World Championship level yet. You're great, but you're not that great. So Swerve won that match. Hit him with the house call to score the pinfall. And that's that. Now, what I would like to see is Roderick Strong versus Christian Cage. Now, that's a damn good match. I would like to see that. 2 clicks versus each other. That's, yeah. They both like to cheat. They both have outside interferences by their clique. This should be an awesome match. I would like to see that. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And if you heard me, AEW, make it happen. We, the fans, would like to see that. Well, that's all I got for Dynamite. Next, we're going to be talking about Rampage and what happened over there. So stay tuned after these messages. Hey there, wrestling fans. This is your boy Teo, the host of Brawl Till We Fall. And I want you to check out my show every Sunday. We have 2 shows. That's right, we have 2 shows on Sunday night. The 2 shows we have is the highlight show, which is at 6:30 p.m. on Sundays. And then we have our premiere show at 8:30 p.m. on Sundays. So check us out. We also have our Thursday night Let's Talk About It show featuring my brothers, and hopefully sometime in the future we can have some wrestling stars or somebody to come out and talk about the pay-per-views that's coming up on that weekend. So every Thursday, right before the pay-per-views, we have our Let's Talk About It show. So check us out. Right there's the info. You can go to YouTube to check us out on YouTube, and soon we'll have other platforms. But until then, right now, check us out. Every Sunday, we have our show. Peace out. All right, we're back. Let's talk about AEW Rampage. There's not much to talk about, but we're going to get into the results of the matches that did take place. Nothing really exciting. Penta El Zero Miedo defeated the Butcher via pinfall. So that was a good one. Back and forth match because, Butcher is a big dude, but he can move a little bit. The Acclaim defeated Gray and Parvis. And I like what they're doing. They got a lot of new wrestlers that's showing their face. They're building their roster a little bit. So it's good. Gates of Agony defeated Private Party. Which Private Party has been on a downsize, and that's not good because they're good wrestlers. Those young boys are doing some. They can do some things, but to no avail. They're taking a lot of hits right now. Juice Robinson makes his return, and him and the Guns defeat Chris Wilde, Tyler Payne, and Caleb Crush. And Robinson made incredibly short work of this local talent, which was great. You know, seeing Juice back in the ring. He's been away for a minute. Mina Shirakawa defeated Serena Deeb. Now, this was a surprise for me, because Serena Deeb is a great wrestler. So, I wasn't expecting that. So, but Shirakawa got the win. And that was that. And that was the end, basically, of Rampage. There wasn't, like I said, there wasn't too much to talk about here. Rampage is only an hour show, and I keep saying they need to expand it at least to 2 hours, but give it a little bit more. I mean, they were doing some good things in the last couple of weeks where they were, implementing things from Collision and Dynamite, and just expanding on these different storylines. But now it's just match after match after match, and it's not really entertaining. I'm just going to be real with you. This is why at one time I wasn't even talking about Rampage, because it was just not, something that I can expound on. And it's like it's going back in that direction. So y'all Rampage need to be an amped up thing. You say Rampage, it need to be some Rampage, something going on. But that's all I got for Rampage. You see how short that was? It was real short. There's nothing really here. It's short. All right, we're gonna get back to you and after these messages with Collision. All right, we're back with Collision. Now, Collision was exciting. This was an exciting show. They always start off with excitement on Collision. I like Collision. Collision is one of my favorite AEW shows. Dynamite is good. It's the premier show. But Collision is something about it. It reminds me of Saturday night's main event back in the day with WWE. There's something about it that just brings excitement. So we started off with a match that I never even thought about. FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club. This was actually a damn good match. It was so damn good, it ended in a time limit draw. Because it was just back and forth, and it was great. The moves, everything. FTR, like I said, is one of the greatest of all time tag teams. The greatest. And then you got Blackpool Combat Club, who was a no quit. That's a no quit team right there. So them two going against each other, they bumped heads a lot. And they even asked for some extra minutes. They wanted extra minutes. However, you know damn well who's in charge, and they're not going to give it to them just because they don't like FTR. So the EVPs did not give them that. But they will have a rematch somewhere down the line. All right. And even this dude came out. They sent some guy out there. What's his name? Cutler. Brandon Cutler comes out on behalf of the Young Bucks with a contract that states that it's only a 20-minute match, and that's all they're supposed to get. Cutler gets a nice swing and a shatter machine for his trouble. All right, which they basically telling the Young Bucks they could give a damn who they sent out there. Moving on, Kyle O'Reilly is backstage and he asked about his match tonight against Orange Cassidy, and that's going to be a hell of a match, and I'm going to talk to y'all about that when it comes up. Roderick Strong comes out again. It's like he's still trying to recruit him to the kingdom, but O'Reilly says he's not ready for that right now. He's not. And O'Reilly is doing well by himself, honestly. He may not be winning the matches the way that he wants to, but he's giving these people a damn good show, and he's definitely making sure that whoever he wrestles, it don't matter who, they know they've been in a damn fight when you messing with that dude, because he ain't no joke. Kyle O'Reilly is no joke. Chris Statlander defeated a Robin Renegade, and then Stokely grabs the mic and announces that he's gonna put Statlander in as the first woman in the Owen Hart Tournament Cup, and ain't nobody gonna stop her. Now Willow Nightingale won this last year, and even just gonna go in there, it says Willow Nightingale is she was backstage and she said she was interested. It was interesting to see Statlander in there, and that she's gonna be in there to stop her. So let's see what that's gonna turn out to be. I don't think they're gonna last to the cup. I think they're gonna get it in before that, and my money is on Willow. Dustin Rhodes defeated Johnny TV. He hits him with the final score. Johnny TV, like I said this a couple of weeks ago. Come on, man. You really just going against anybody and losing to everybody. You need to, I don't know. I don't know what they need to do with Johnny TV. I just don't know right now. But Dustin Rhodes gets the microphone, and he's getting old. That's what he says. And he has. He's been around for what? 4 decades? Or 6 decades? 6 decades. And yeah, but you still are relevant. You know what I'm saying? If Hulk Hogan can reinvent himself and create the NWO at his age, the way he was wrestling, and Ric Flair could still put people in the figure 4 at the age he was, you're not there yet. You are a pioneer, you are up there, but guess what? You still got it. And the fans let you know you still got it. You can still wrestle with the best of them and teach these young guys what wrestling is all about. So, big ups to Dustin. He did have a lot to say about Jack Perry, and they got a match coming up next week on Dynamite. I can't wait to see that. and he's going to actually show he still got it. He still got those skills. Um, let's go on. The premier athletes. So the premier athletes defeated Trent Jordy and Dante Leon, and they made it. This is a quick match for them. This is a quick match, and I'm laughing because something's gonna happen, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Um, the AEW Women's World Champion Tony Storm and Luther defeated Lady Frost. Um, this quick work for her. And she also announced that she wants to put Mariah May in this Owen Hart tournament. So now we know we got two people in there, or possibly three. Um, so that, and that's basically what's gonna happen there. It's also announced that Lee Moriarty and Action Andretti will face each other at the next week's Collision for the spot of the Forbidden Door ladder match. That should be interesting. Um, Shibata. This is where this laughter came from. Okay, so Shibata's backstage with he got the camera with Samoa Joe and Hook, and they just talking about lacrosse, and you don't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden they bust into the locker room of the premier athletes and beat the hell out of them. Now let's go back. Go back to Dynamite, where these premier athletes smacked the potato chips out of my man Hook's hand. And I told you they was coming. You don't mess with these dudes. These two dudes have aligned themselves, and Shibata is no joke either. Even though he had the camera, he could have got in there and got rough too. But technically, he's backup. Because these two dudes by themselves, Hook and Samoa Joe, are two dangerous dudes. And the premier athletes got their ass whipped. And they could have got choked out. But they got shown you don't mess with these dudes. But to no avail, Sterling was crying afterwards, which was funny. But I can see that setting up for a match, and they still gonna whip their ass. It don't matter. In fact, I would even just avoid them at all costs. Daniel Garcia defeated Tate Mayfairs. Again, new guys coming. It's not. I ain't saying nothing bad. People got to come in and earn their keep. I got you. They had a package for Mercedes Moné, her next opponent. Orange Cassidy is backstage extremely stressed out about a lot of things. His friends being gone, his challenge from Zack Sabre, an upcoming match with Kyle O'Reilly that he's about to have. So, Cassidy going through some things. He ain't got no backup. I guess Willow is his only friend right now. But technically, Orange, you don't need no backup. You really don't. You need trust, and you can trust in yourself that you can get things done. Eventually, there's some people that's going to support you. Honestly, if they wanted to put a stable together, they could add Orange Cassidy over there, even though they don't need it, with Hook and Samoa Joe. With Shibata, oh my God, that would be an awesome stable. So go over there and make some new friends. Trust me, when you roll with them dudes, you definitely gonna win your matches, and they got your back. Moving on, the main event, talking about Orange Cassidy to the main event. Orange Cassidy did defeat Kyle O'Reilly. Like I said, you don't need backup. When you defeat a dude like Kyle O'Reilly, he's just everything that wrestling, when you say the best wrestle, he is that dude. He is a technical wrestler in every faction. So defeating him, putting that notch on your belt, Orange, yeah. Make sure that you savor that moment, because that is a great moment to beat a person like Kyle O'Reilly. Anyway, Trent Beretta and Kyle Fletcher did come out and attack Cassidy after the match, which I understand. Like I said, you need backup, why not align yourself with the best backup you can find? Hook. Go over there to Hook and Samoa Joe and align yourself with them dudes. Because I guarantee you, with Trent Beretta joining the Callis family, that's the best group of guys that you got. One, you can trust them. Two, they damn sure gonna kick ass. That's almost a guaranteed win. But you want that size, ability, skill, all of that. Because you got Shibata, Hook. That's skill for skill. And then you got the brawnness, the bigness, the strength of a Samoa Joe. What you added to that, that right there, that click right there would definitely give the Don Callis family a run for their money. Because Will Ospreay, even though he's a part of that Callis family, he not standing with them dudes. It's Trent Beretta. Here's what you got. Trent Beretta, Kyle Fletcher, and that's it, really. Because his focus on his other boy, and his focus is not on the other two. There's only two, really, that you got to worry about. And that's Trent Beretta now and Kyle Fletcher. That's it. Well, they attacked him. And even though Kyle O'Reilly tried to make the save, it was just too much. And then Chris Statlander came out for the attack. But Willow came out and made the save. And that's pretty much what ended AEW's Collision. It's very interesting and very good. You know, Collision is not, you know, even though it's a 2-hour show, they have a lot of little things that's in there. But it makes it real interesting. They need to put some of that over there on Rampage. But to no avail, I'm happy with Collision and Dynamite right now. And they're good shows. You know, they're definitely giving NXT a run for their money. So AEW, like I said, is headed in the direction of really, really making an impact in this wrestling business. And I like where it's going. So, with that to no avail, your boy Teo is signing off for your AEW coverage for this week. And I'll catch you next week with more AEW. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed.